Welcome back to another Sports Hub. Today we're at Kearney Catholic's Coke Coliseum, home of the four-time Class C1 volleyball champs. I'm Ryan Edwards, joined today by Dan Zielinski. Dan, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. It's going to be a busy week with volleyball starting week 2 of the football season, getting underway here on Thursday. So I'm looking forward to it, and it should be a fun week with a lot of competitive games.
With the season starting on Thursday, what's one of the teams that you're most interested in seeing?
So obviously I'm going to be watching Kearney Catholic and Kearney High, but besides those two area schools, I'm going to be watching Alma with Jaden Heckenlively. Alma last year was 2 points away from winning in 3 sets to advance to the quarterfinals. Jaden Heckenlively was an all-state honorable mention player last year. She was a middle hitter her first 3 years of high school volleyball, but will be also playing the back row this year. So I think that team has a lot of talent, obviously coming back, and will have the potential to have a special season this year.
Yeah, and I agree with those points. As you mentioned, Kearney Catholic is another team that we will be keeping an eye on this year. Last year they lost in the Class C1 semifinals, and they were beat by Malcolm. They do have a lot of interesting pieces coming back, and I think they will compete. But the one thing that will be hard for them is they're playing in a new conference. They're playing in the Centennial Conference, which is a really tough conference, and for volleyball, especially in this state. They have Columbus SCOTUS. They'll play Hastings St. Cecilia or Grand Island Central Catholic week in and week out to compete, for a district crown and a conference crown. So it should make this team tougher by the end of the season.
Kearney High is also expected to have a good season this year, ranked 9th in their class, have some talent coming back. So I guess what are you expecting from them?
As you mentioned, Kearney High does have a lot of good talent coming back from last year's team. They're led by Bailey Sterling, who's a senior, and she committed to Northern Colorado her junior season. I expect them to do really well this year. They have a lot of high expectations for a team that finished 16-19 last year. They're under their 3rd year with Jessica Day at the helm leading their program. So it will be interesting to see how they handle those expectations as the year goes on, and if they have some of those trying moments, who do they go to as that leader, and what will they do when the times get hard.
So Kearney High and Kearney Catholic are both in action on Thursday. I'm picking Kearney High and Kearney Catholic to win their matches in 3 straight sets. Ryan, who are you picking this week?
All right, I'm going to go with Kearney High and Kearney Catholic also in 3 sets. I don't know necessarily if it will be easy. I know there will be a lot of nervous type of jitters before it's the first game of the season, so it should be one of those things where they probably will struggle in the first set, but once they figure it out, they'll win easily.
So talking about first game jitters, Kearney Catholic was in action week 1 against Adams Central here at home, and they kind of had some first game jitters. They struggled with penalties early, just weren't in a rhythm early. They kind of figured it out in that second half and were able to win. Coach Harvey believes they're over that. The coaching staff is over those first game jitters that he said they also had. So I would expect Kearney Catholic to win this week against GICC.
Kearney High plays on Thursday. They play Lincoln East, and also too, Kearney High had those jitters. They weren't able really to move the ball on Grand Island's defense. With those two coaches, it's a chess match, and they figured it out. Their defense stepped up when it mattered the most in the 4th quarter. But for Kearney, they'll have to establish the run on offense and then continue to sustain drives on offense as well. Defensively, I think they're fine, and I think they'll be able to handle Lincoln East defense, and I'll go with Kearney High in this game.
For the rest of our picks and for more information on this week's games, make sure to pick up a copy of Thursday's edition of the Kearney Hub and check us out on kearneyhub.com.